All right, guys. So the last one I'm going to talk about is employee stock purchase plans, or ESPP. Now, this is a little bit different of a plan. Essentially, it's similar to ISOs though, and so there's a lot of overlap there, but some of the terms are slightly different. An employee stock purchase plan is the ability for you to purchase, that your employer, right, is giving the opportunity to purchase their own stock at a discounted rate. So commonly it could be 15%, right? We've talked about the mechanics and what that looks like. So commonly 15%. So essentially you're buying and you automatically have earned a 15% gain on those shares. It's immediate equity in that stock. Okay, so it's a nice benefit. It can be great. So this is very similar in taxation to ISOs, incentive stock options. In order to get the best long-term capital gains tax rates, you must meet qualified disposition requirements, which means you must hold it at least 2 years from the date of grant and at least 1 year from the date of purchase. Remember, usually these are granted in chunks, and then maybe the purchase happens 6 months later after the grant date. Then you have to wait the time, 2 years from the date of grant, 1 year from date of purchase. At least 1 year, at least 2 years. They have to meet both those requirements. Whatever one is, basically whatever one's longer. If you do that, then when you sell the shares, you receive the preferential tax rate of long-term capital gains, right? 15, 15, or 20% instead of short-term capital gains rates. If you don't meet qualified disposition, right, you make the purchase and then you just sell them. You didn't hold it for a year or something like that, and not 2 years from grant date, then the gain is taxed as income. Short-term capital gains taxed at your regular income brackets. Okay, so that is, taxation is very similar to the ISOs, and the only difference is usually the grant happens, purchase happens like maybe quarterly or every 6 months or something like that. Because it's public and you could sell it, like with private companies, you can't really sell it. So it's not the option. You have to think about it typically. But with public companies, then you have to say, okay, am I 2 years from grant date and 1 year from purchase date? You have to make sure you meet the requirements. All right, that wraps up this one. That was a quickie. We'll go ahead and move on to the next video.
Let time and discipline do the work.